Okay, so I just got off the phone. Just got off the phone with my homeboy that was with me last night when the cops pulled me out the car and put the handcuffs on me. And we was talking about that. As wild as that shit is, it's a common occurrence if you're a black male. That's happened to me so many times. Some black man just did something and you fit the description. That don't happen to other races as often as it happens to us, man. Where they just walk up to people and they like, is this the person that did it? They didn't go so far as to take me to the scene of the crime or to where a witness could look at me, but they did, walk over there and talk to me. And he probably was asking. He was like, well, what's the guy look like? Give me as much description as possible. And that's probably what he was listening to in his ear. And, he probably told him suspect has on a black hoodie sweatshirt that says this across the front, South Pole. And they was like, no, it wasn't a sweatshirt. It was a black t-shirt. Okay, let him go. Oh, son of a bitch. Thank God. I remember a few years back, this was a crazy one. I got pulled over in San Antonio. I'm walking down the street, leaving my homegirl's house, headed to the bus stop. Just walking to the bus stop. They swarmed on me. Threw me in handcuffs, threw me in the back seat, and they drove me to this other parking lot. Took me out of the car and showing all these lights on me. Took the handcuffs on me and told me go home. Go on about what you was doing. Son of a bitch. That happens to black men all the time. My buddy was telling me it just happened to him about. The one that was in the car, he said it happened to him about a month ago. Just part of being a black man in America. That don't happen, man. A white dude do something, they don't just run up to a white dude and be like, you're white and you also have on a cap. Let me put these handcuffs on you. Son of a bitch, you. But like I say, he didn't find anything. He just did the little quick, is there a gun here? And I didn't have no gun on me. And even if I did, if he happened to not hit in that one spot, because he just said, whoop, whoop, slide, whoop, whoop, slide. So if you keep just think about where they'll search and put your gun in a place that they won't slide. But no, I'm just playing. Don't carry no gun around unless you got a permit, because they will give you time. If you're a convicted felon, they will put you in prison automatically 5 years. So anyway, I get out of that fine pickle that I was in. Happened to be in their funky ass city. After curfew. Black man after curfew. If you black, they want you in when the sun's out. As long as the sun is out, they're usually okay with you. You stay out after dark, what are you doing? And you just got to be smart and you got to be aware. And that's one thing they don't teach you in school. Niggas like me should be able to sue the school system. They force you to go to school and they tell you, we're going to teach you everything you need to know to succeed in our society. But they don't teach you the most important thing, especially if you're a black man. They don't teach you about racism and laws and the corrupt justice system and the way the justice system is racist. They tell you that justice is blind. It's not. Justice is racist like a motherfucker. If you don't know that by now, you're in trouble. If you hit 18, you need to know that. You're a black man, you need to know that. And that's one thing they should teach in schools, but they don't. If you step anywhere outside the law is going to come after you 3 times, 4 times harder. What it's called, see, my uncle tried to tell me when I was real little. I was like, right when we was moving to Texas, we was leaving Chicago, and my uncle, the wild one, he didn't really want me to go without imparting some life important wisdom. I was about 15 at the time, and he called me and he say, Diego, certain things you need to know. You're going down there to Texas, and I don't know if I'll ever see you again. He said, but you need to know this and you need to understand this, man. The world is not your friend. The world is racist. And I was like, well, shit, I know that. I've been black and I've been able to walk the streets long enough to know what time it is. You know, black man, for every so many miles you travel, a white officer with a gun and a vest is going to ask you, what's going on? Where you going? Where you headed to? What you doing right about now? You okay? You cool? Yeah. He didn't tell me all that. He didn't do the example that I did. But he just told me, you know, it's racist, man. It's a racist world. And as a black man, there's certain things you need to know and understand. And the most important one, of course, is keeping your composure and keeping your cool. And he didn't tell me that in so many words, but he did tell me in his own way about the dangers of being a black man in America. Being a nigga. You know, if you're a nigga, you need to know it. And nigga comes from the word nigger. That's what white people used to call black people in the day to put us down. It's one of those words. That's what words are. Words are to try to pull people into the pack. They're meant to abuse people. Words are meant to annoy and abuse people enough to get them motivated to do something. And that word nigger was invented as one to put us down and hurt our feelings. They made a word to try to hurt our feelings as almost a verbal whip. Act like one of us. Behave like one of us. They can't use the whip no more, so they use the word. They went to the word nigger. 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 You know what nigger means, nigger? It means you're dumber than me. It means I'm better than you, and I'm more superior than you, and you're inferior. That's what that means. You're ignorant, inferior, and not as smart as me. I'm smarter than you. God likes me more. That's what the word nigger means. We flipped it. And we was like, this is what white people say about us. This is what white people think about us. They think we some niggas. We're not even going to say it the way they want us to say it. Nigger. No, we niggas. That's what we are, niggas. But we'll make fun of them and be like, nigger, 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 nigger. However it sounds to us. That's how it sounds when most white people say it these days. Nigger. Nigger. Get out of here, nigger. Goddamn niggers. Because they abused us with that word so much it became explosive. That is the ass whooping word. White people call it black people nigger. And white people, you need to understand that. You use the word nigger if you want to, but you use it with the understanding that you might try to whoop my ass for it. It's a racial slur, and when you hear a person that's not your race use it, you might get upset and offended. But I think I can take you and control you if you get out of line. So, what's up, nigga? Just be prepared. Realize that is one of those words that is considered a fighting word. You look up the word fighting word and you'll see things like nigger, bitch, motherfucker, and other fighting words. Bring it on. Well, come on, sucker. What you want to do? Fighting words. Yeah, that's what nigga is. It's saying I'm better than you. My race is better than yours. Fuck you. Fuck you very much. That's what nigger means. So we flipped it and we just meant to say nigga. Hey, what's up? And the nigga is a motherfucker that don't care what white people think. I don't care what motherfuckers who think I'm superior think. You think you're smarter than me? Whatever. You think you're better than me? Whatever. God likes you more? Whatever. You're more highly evolved? Whatever. Nigga. That's your word? That's the best you can do? Nigga. Well, there's other niggas who don't give a fuck what you think. And them are my niggas. If they're comrades. If we agree enough to walk together. And you know, you need to explain this. They should teach black kids this in school. Black men need to teach other young men this. Nigger. Nigga. My words in between, everything in between. Got to teach them that we're special people. We got issues. We got a lot of anger and frustration. The world oppressed us since we stepped foot on this land. Black man has been oppressed, the most oppressed. The most desired and the most depressed at the same time. Most hated. Most to receive jealousy. And we received a retarded jealousy. And this is what my uncle tried to explain to me. He tried to explain to me that black men are oppressed and hated because of jealousy. Now, I was a young teenage boy. Like I say, I was 14, 15 years old, man. So when he come to me, they hate niggas because they're jealous. I was like, jealous of what? And he was like, our powerful big black cocks. And it was the realest shit I had ever heard. I was a kid and I didn't understand, so I laughed. Our big black cocks, huh? Yes. Yes, young Papito. It is true. You laugh, but it is true. They laugh at the power of the black man. The big black cock and the powerful muscle. Even if a black man is small, he is strong. They say that we are stupid, but they are no smarter than us. No, Papito. Anything they can learn, we can learn quicker. I promise you. Anything they can do, we can do better. I promise you. Anything that has been done before, you can do it if it's been done. If a man did it, you can repeat that. No matter what color you are, Papito. And people that receive racism and hatred, racism is built on jealousy. Jealousy is the seed that grows the tree of hatred. It really is, man. Everything grows, and especially things that grow out of control, things that get too big for us to comprehend or grasp, get a hold of. And racism is one of those things that starts from the seed of jealousy and it turns into racism. And racism blossoms from this tree. And racism is one of those fruits that is destructive. And it's jealousy. And some men are jealous because of the cock thing. Some men are jealous because of the muscle thing, the smart thing, the ability, the adaptability, the rate of evolution. All of these things. Black men are evolution at its finest. And that's why they hate us. That's why they're jealous. They try to tell us things. They try to program our brains to make us believe things that are not true. They make us want to believe things like we're more violent, we're more ignorant, we're less evolved. We can't do this, we can't do that. No, no, no. And that's what this country has been telling the black man since he got here. You can't. You can't walk down this street without getting harassed. You can't move anywhere that you want to. You can't have any job that you want to have. You can't build anything that you want to do. You can't achieve. You can't invent. You can't stay out of jail. You can't make money. You can't elevate yourself to the highest economic status. And that's what this country has been telling us forever. But now we live in the age of truth. There are mediums like the internet, YouTube, MetaCafe, and these other video sharing sites. Google. You have the Google now. Anybody can buy a website. If you want to buy a website, buy one from me. My website, No More Lies. I'll be building a page dedicated to selling websites, but you can buy them now, and you can always contact me. You go to my website, nomorelies.ws. It's nomorelies.ws. You can do the www or whatever, but whatever. nomorelies.ws. nomorelies.ws. And I sell websites there, but I digress for now. The main thing I'll be selling there is my book when I'm complete. When it is complete. When I've completed my book. We live in the age of truth now, and they can't stop us. But this is what we are in now. We are in the age of truth. The time that everybody has asked about and everybody's wanted to come, it is now. It is among us. It is upon us. The age of enlightenment. The age of Aquarius, if you will. We haven't had a phenomenon like this since the days of Jesus, 2,000 years ago, where people stepped forward in their social evolution. And Jesus brought these uniform, universal ideas. He said it's as simple as this. And when somebody asked him, they said, "Teacher, what laws do you have to follow?" Jesus said it real simple. He said, "Love God with all your heart, your body, your mind, your soul." I'm paraphrasing. But he just said, love God with every fiber of your being. And if you love God with every fiber of your being, you're thankful for every day. You're grateful for your life. You're grateful for everything that you have. If you really love God with all your heart, anytime something tries to creep in your heart towards God or creation or life, things that you know are of God, truth is of God. Life is of God. Love is of God. And these are the enemies: lies, hatred, greed, jealousy, discontent. All these things, they're enemies of the truth. The truth, light, positive thing, stuff like, what it is supposed to be. You know what's good and what's not. You know what this world can use more of, and you know what it can use less of. It's all in there. This is the age we live in. Even if you believe the Bible or the Quran or anything like that, if you believe any of the old spiritual texts, they always say that the day is going to come. That was the promise from Moses on the Ten Commandments. God said, "I'm writing these 10 commandments on stone right now. One of these days I'm going to write them on your heart." And the vast majority of people have that in their heart. Some people like to say it's our collective conscience. Things like, "Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, thou shalt not," whatever. The 5 commandments that we shouldn't do, that's all wrapped up in the second one. Jesus said, "Love your neighbor as you love yourself." How should you love people? Well, imagine y'all had to switch places. You became that person, they became you. Y'all roles was reversed. How would you want them to treat you if you was in their position? Or if they was in your position? That's how you treat your neighbor. Simple as that. The golden rule. Been saying it for thousands of years. Do unto others as you have them do unto yourself. Plain and simple. Simple and plain. And this is the age we live in. Information. So they can't hide certain truths from us. Like the fact that we live in a world that is racist. Hates black men. Hates our power, our knowledge, our wisdom and understanding. They try to miseducate us and abuse us for 400 plus years. It's up to us to step past that and wrap our brains around something great. They can only oppress you if you let them. And just like last night, I didn't break any laws. I didn't have any illegal paraphernalia on me. There was no illegal paraphernalia in the car. I was there with my baby, my son's mother, my buddy, and myself. I was just sitting there talking. We have every right to do that. I'm visiting town. Can I not have a visit with somebody? You motherfucker. Can my friend see my son and we have a good evening without you fucking it up, officer? And so he comes over there. "We think you might have stabbed somebody. We think you might have punched somebody in the face. You look like that type of nigger. So come over here and talk to me right quick." And so he held me for like 15 minutes. And he knows, they're trained. If I can remain calm and I don't start pouring sweat and I don't break down after 15, 20 minutes, probably innocent. In addition to that, I had plenty of witnesses, and like I said, no paraphernalia on me. I had a pocket knife on me, which he didn't notice or find. And I wasn't talking to him. You ask me a question I don't want to answer, I'm not fucking answering you. And he would ask me stupid questions like that. And when he asked me a stupid question, no answer. Or a sarcastic answer. That's the only way you can deal with people like that. If you're in a situation where the only power you have is your voice, you have to use it in a very powerful manner. You want to get answers from me? Okay. Did you stab somebody? That's a stupid question. You're an officer. Do I look like I stabbed somebody? I never even acknowledged that question. If we had came down to an interrogation room and they had me up in there and they was like, "Okay, we're asking you on tape. Did you murder somebody tonight?" I look at the camera or the person or whatever and say, "No, I did not stab anybody right now." Would I stab a motherfucker? Yes. Would I like to stab you right now? Yes, but I realize that is illegal, so I will not be doing that. because I'll be exactly where you want to put me right now, in a cage, right? You funky bastard. You gotta talk to them in a language they'll understand. Excuse me, officer, but I have to beg your pardon. I wasn't doing anything at all but sitting here for quite some time now. I have several witnesses right here that will gladly attest to that and verify that. If it's all the same with you, I prefer it if you went back to whatever it is you were doing, or carry along with your business and leave me and my family to our own devices. We're not breaking the law, and we're not a threat to anyone. Please excuse yourself. Thank you very much. Have a funky, fucked up ass day, since you funky, fucked up our day. You know, that's how you gotta talk to them. But in your own words. I'm not telling anybody to go out there and be a smart ass with the cop, but just be truthful. If you didn't do anything wrong, say so. If you did something wrong, shut the fuck up. Don't say shit. If you did something wrong, or you know somebody that did something wrong, shut the fuck up. If you did something wrong, tell it. Because you're the only one that can tell the truth about some shit anyway. You the eyewitness to something, you want to be an eyewitness, that's on you. Whatever. To each his own. Some people mind their own business. Some people mind everybody else's business. You know. I choose to be the minder of my own business. So, the officer, we'll call him Officer Mick Shut the Fuck Up Face. You know, I was talking, and at one point he was walking me back towards his car. And as we got closer to the car, I said, so you say a motherfucker got stabbed tonight, huh? I don't know if I used the MF word. But I say, so you say somebody got stabbed tonight, huh? Well, I hope they die. And I hope they related to you. I didn't do anything, and you're wasting your time by wasting my time. And he stopped. And, you know, I resisted to very logical levels. You know, every now and then I would slow my pace. Or, like, once we got to the car, I stopped. I'm not going to even lie to you. I stopped at the car. He was going to have to struggle to get me in that fucking car. I'm not fin to do myself in. I'm not going to put myself in your cage. So, you know, he had the handcuffs on me. And like I said, we got close to the car because I was like, we could talk about this, but I didn't do shit. I'm going to resist arrest if I didn't do shit. Fuck you and the horse you rode on if you want to tell me different. I didn't do shit. Let's get a squad out here. Hopefully they'll send a sergeant to the location and I can talk to the sergeant. I mean, you know, you gotta do it. Do your job. You want me in that car? I don't want to be in the car. You want to put me in the car? Okay, that's what you're gonna do. But guess what? I'm not finna help you. Let's see how much of a statue I may become. That's what I do when I resist. Sometimes I have regretted not fighting, but in the long run, it's the wise thing to do. Don't fight with the police. You shouldn't resist either, because, you know, you might have to pay for it. Every decision you make is a rough decision, a tough choice. Especially when you're a black man. When you're a black man that's amplified and it's elevated. If you scare a motherfucker, you might have some deadly consequences. And that's one thing they don't teach in school that they should. A black man scares somebody, he'll probably fall a victim to that fear. People kill what they fear. It's humanity. And if they could get other motherfuckers afraid of you, they're going to deal with you. Either they're going to kill you on the streets because they scared of you, or they're going to get somebody to kill you on the streets because they scared of you, or they're going to get you locked up because they scared of you. And you've been proven a threat in other people's minds. And society comes together and they say no more to you. You die or you go to jail. If you scare people and you don't alleviate that threat once it's in their heart. And black people, we have put fear in their heart. Jealousy and fear, they're related. And they both grow from the same tree. Trees of hatred and trees of racism. Jealousy. What is all about jealousy? And that's the fucked up thing about our society. TV and BET and Ebony and black entertainers and black people, they steady pollute the young black people's minds with these thoughts that we should try our best to join the rat race and make other rats around us as jealous as possible. But jealousy in the 21st century has way too many deadly consequences for minorities, wherever you are. The Jews made Hitler jealous, and he decided to wipe them out. Black men, women, we got our freedom, and they didn't like that. Some people, jealous-hearted people, didn't like that. A jealous-hearted person, that's the type of person that wants a slave. A jealous-hearted person that wants everything, but they don't want to have to get it for themselves. A greedy motherfucker. You know, greed leads to jealousy, all these other things. But, you know, they are jealous of us because we're not theirs anymore. We used to be their property and they fucking mad about it. You know, all white people don't have the slave master mentality. But many of them do. People like Bush. A motherfucker that says everybody has to agree with me or die. That's the slave master mentality. That's what that says. Everybody agrees with me or die. Everybody helps me or die. What I want is best, so you help me or you die or you get beat or you submit. And, you know, we grab our balls and wag our junk at them and say, fuck you, white boy. You want us to be a slave again? You want to oppress us? You want to pull us over because I'm black? You already admitted it. You put handcuffs on me because my skin is black. You already admitted it. So I'm going to beat you over the head with that until you let me go. He admitted it. He said, some black guy did something somewhere. I'm putting these handcuffs on you. Really? Some black guy did something somewhere? Really, motherfucker? Yes, he had on a black shirt. Does this look like a fucking black shirt? This is what I had on. A black shirt. Black sweatshirt. Black jacket. I had a white t-shirt on under it. And under that was a black shirt. But I could have easily, you know, if I didn't put that white t-shirt back on, I could have easily fit the description a lot better. If he would have found a knife, could have fit the description a lot better. But mistaking my knife for a knife that just stabbed somebody and was folded up and clipped back to... Yeah, I stabbed somebody and I folded it up and I cleaned it real good and I clipped it right here. And I'm right here, clean, not dirty, not sweaty. Get your stupid ass out of here, officer. You look like a fucking moron right now. Sometimes you gotta be real and tell them that. I looked exactly like I do right now. Calm, collective, not sweating, not jerking or nothing like that. I was in complete relaxed mode. I was with my family, my son. Don't make me act an idiot in front of my son, please. I was there for some legal shit. I'm not even gonna lie. I was there to get some good gravy. Some ooka-noopa doogie. I hadn't bought any weed in a while. I was in the hood in Austin. Somebody around the corner got punched in the face and stabbed by a nigga. A nigga with a black shirt on. Officer sees a nigga with a black hoodie on. Goes for him. Me. Dumbass. If it was me, he wouldn't have called me. Not that fucking easily. Again, officer, did you not take Psychology 101? Do you know anything about psychology? Do you really think that I would have just been chilling? If I just stabbed somebody around the block, I would just be chilling with my family, laughing and giggling with my son and my friend and my son's mother? No. I'll be on high alert mode. I just stabbed somebody. I know that. You think I just stabbed somebody and I don't know that? Do I look, again, officer, do I look like somebody that just stabbed somebody? Yeah. You look, I know, I understand, officer. You're looking for a nigga in a black shirt. I understand that. First of all, this is a black sweatshirt. This is a white shirt. Second of all, think. If I stab somebody, would I look the way I do right now? Would I be speaking the way I am right now? Would my heart rate be what it is right now? Would I not be sweating if I just ran? I just had a fist fight with somebody, you say. I just stabbed somebody, you say. And I ran over here. Do you think that I am Superman? Or super nigger? Do you think I'm super nigger? And I just beat somebody up, stabbed him, and ran over here. You could be a boxer. You could be a trainer. Even if I was a boxer, and I just elevated my heart rate to have a fight, and I punched somebody in the face, and I stabbed them, officer, do you think I would be calm and that I wouldn't be sweating? You want to talk to me about boxing? If I was a professional boxer, they trained 4 or 5 days a week, and I was able to jog a marathon, do you think I could have just punched somebody, stabbed them, ran over here, not be sweating, not have a heavy heartbeat, not have anything? Officer, I understand black man, black shirt, whatever. Listen to me and think. That's what you have to do. The truth is self-evident, man. It always is. If you're trying to prove the truth, all you have to do is open people's eyes up enough to see the truth. The truth is self-evident. It really is. And when the truth goes against the lie, the truth always wins, especially if you have enough evidence backing that truth up. Some evidence is just two evidence. Bodies, they don't lie as well as mouths do. Body language and eye contact are natural lie detectors. And that's why the two different cultures, the two reigning cultures in America or in the world, they are at constant odds because they have two concepts about life. What is considered the Afro-Asiatic culture teaches people about mutual respect, dignity, privacy, sanctity of mind, certain rights, such as you have the right to privacy, you have the right to your own mind, you have the right to your own thoughts, and you have the right to think anything you want in your head. You have the right to be whoever you are, whatever you want to be, long as you're not breaking the law or hurting anybody. F it, basically. That's the Afro-Asiatic thing. Do unto others as people do to you. And they believe that you don't have the right to look people in the eyes without their permission, without their express written permission. And it's not written in words, but it's written in body language, eye contact. If somebody looks you in the eye, they've just stepped into your private zone. They stepped into your soul. They're looking at you for any truth. They weren't looking at you for any response. Anything that there is to tell about you, they could tell it in your eyes. And when somebody looks another person in the eye, the Afro-Asiatic society teaches you that you only have a right to look a person in the eye with invitation unless you are their acknowledged superior. Children can look their kids in the eye. Certain, your boss could look a employee in the eye. A master could look a servant in the eye. But the other way around is unacceptable. And to be somebody's servant, you have to acknowledge that you're their servant. To be somebody's child, you have to acknowledge they're your child or wife or another intimate like that. You have to have permission to come in. And somebody will welcome you with their eyes. So if you look a person in the eyes and they look away right away, that's them telling you, you don't have a right to invade my personal space, my soul. Please don't step into my soul like that. The Eurocentric culture teaches the very opposite. You have the right to look in anybody's soul if they come in your personal space. Anybody comes around you, you have every right to know what they're doing around you and why they're around you. So you have the right to look them in the eye until they tell you exactly why. And then y'all come to an agreement and y'all can coexist. And that's, the property thing, the territory thing. A person that sets up their territory, it's my territory. You don't come around here unless you submit or become a meal. This is the land I've dominated and conquered. Anything that steps in this space is either subject to be kicked off of this space or eaten. This is the Eurocentric mentality and culture. That's what they teach you. So people with that mentality, the Eurocentric or slave master mentality, has that right of privilege. Territory belongs to me and mine and those that I agree with. Every land I step on is agreed on that I am just as superior as anybody else, and I have certain rights as a superior. And I also have the right to look anybody in the eye. And you should always look me in the eye unless you're lying. And you have no right to lie to me. You have no right to lie to me. That's another thing about the Eurocentric culture. You don't have a right to lie to me. I lie to you, but you don't have the right to lie to me. So, this eye contact thing. We're going deeper into this because this is another thing they should teach you in school, but they never did. Eye contact is dangerous if it's used inappropriately. It's impolite to stare, looking at somebody who hasn't given you permission to look at them. It's impolite. Everybody knows that. Even people in Eurocentric countries and they know that's impolite. Stare at somebody, but they don't care about. This ain't about politeness. I have the right to look at anything and anybody, anytime, anyway. If they're in my vicinity, my personal space, if they're in my eyesight, anything that is in my eyesight, I have the right to look upon it. And people from a different type of mentality, the Afro-Asiatic mentality, culture, they believe the opposite. I have the right to cover anything of myself. You have the right to see anything except for me, unless I give you that permission. Privacy, modesty, stuff like that is rights. You have the right to be modest in the Middle East. You don't have the right to be modest here. You don't have that right. You can cover up unless we say uncover. You can wear your burqa, your anything else. I can't think of the other names of that. But you can wear whatever to cover yourself, a scarf, a head wrap, face wrap, anything like that. You could wear it unless we're looking for somebody that might be you. Now take it off and let me look at you. Take off the head wrap. Nah, you don't look like them. Wait a second, what you got on under that? You got on a white shirt under that? Let me see. Okay, yeah, the person we looking for had on a different shirt. You could wrap back up and leave. That's our culture. In certain cultures they have different rules about this type of stuff. And the eye contact thing is important. Because this is the thing to understand. Like, if you go for an interview or a job or something like that, somebody's going to stare at you the whole time. They're going to look you in the eyes, and they're going to expect you to look them back in the eyes. Especially if they're coming from the Eurocentric slave mentality, the slave master mentality culture that teaches people to dominate them. Look at them. Read them. What are they saying? What's their truth? They don't have a right to lie to you right now. That's what an interview is. Interview is saying you have the right to interrogate me. You go to that interview and they're going to interrogate you, and they're going to interrogate you with their eyes. They're going to look at you. What's your name? Where do you live? Where have you worked before? How long did you work there? What did you do when you was there? Was you a good employee? Did you show up every day on time? Did you ever steal from your boss? What kind of employee would you be for me? This is how much I'm gonna pay. What's that? How you feel about that? I'm gonna pay you this much to do that work. How you feel about that? Yeah, and they basically rape you with their eyes, looking in your soul. What's on this cat's mind? What's this cat's reaction? How does this cat feel about that question? Sizing them up, eating you up with their eyes. And people from the Afro, centric or Asiatic centric mentality, they're taught to avert your eyes when you talk to a stranger, or when you talk to a superior. Look at them sparingly. Don't stare at them. Don't eyeball them. Don't. Somebody asks you, man, what's your name? If they're superior, you don't look at them and say, "Fuck is it to you? What do you mean? What's my name? Who are you asking me what my name is? What's your name?" You're not really supposed to do that. You can say, if somebody asks you your name in America, in most societies, you're supposed to say, "My name is such and such. What is your name?" And you don't say that, depending on the circumstances, you might be dealing with a dickhead. They don't want to tell you their name. That's why dickheads usually have to wear their name on their shirt. If a dickhead has a job, has a name on his shirt, because he's going to be a dickhead, he's going, "What's your name?" Before he say, "Hello, my name is such and such. What is your name?" A dickhead doesn't do that. A dickhead says, "What's your name?" Or "What your name is?" For real, dickhead. "What you doing here?" For real? Okay. They ask questions without thinking they have to answer questions as well. Another thing about the slave master mentality societies, they feel that they can ask you questions without having to answer them. And they teach cops to have that slave master mentality too. So a cop think he can ask you his name. Cops don't learn everything. They don't learn protocol. A cop don't know that they have to give their names as well. Most average officer ain't read the rule book from page cover to cover. Average officer don't know their rules. So when you start spitting their rules at them, that always catch them off guard. You be like, "Officer, I noticed that you didn't do this today. What happens? What are you?" If he would have threw me in the car, he probably would have threw me in there without reading me my Miranda rights. And that's another thing I could have refused. And put me in the car. You asked to put cuffs on me? Here, put the cuffs on me. Now you're going to put me in the car? Now you have to place me under arrest. What am I under arrest for? Now read me, "Officer, you didn't know. Now read me my Miranda rights." Now, of course, I would never say that. You don't volunteer information that's going to fuck you in the ass. So I wouldn't. An officer don't read me my rights, I'm going to run with it. And I ain't going to tell nobody till I tell the magistrate. 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 This officer took me to jail. He didn't read me my Miranda rights. Oh, I know them. I have the right to remain silent. That's the first thing they say. I exercise that right sparingly. You ask me a question I'm not going to answer? Officer, you do realize I have the right to remain silent. Now, you don't have the right to remain silent before you're under arrest. Most people don't know that. Many cities and states, you don't have the right to remain silent before arrest. The right to remain silent is one of those like different types of laws. You don't have that just walking around the street. I have the right to remain silent. I don't have to tell nobody nothing. I'm a ninja. Yeah, you don't have that till you're under arrest. Once you're under arrest, you have the right to be a ninja. They don't teach you things like this in school, and they should. Especially black men, they should teach us law. Brothers need to teach these young brother laws, man. You know, because they were fucked up. When I faced my first felony, I had a first degree felony as an adult. I'm 17, no, I was 18 when I got my felony, my first felony arrest. At 18, I was 18, I got arrested for a robbery. And I had no idea until after I had been in jail for like 30 days that the robbery, like you did, is 5 to 99 under Texas state law. That means if we find you guilty of this crime, we gonna put you in prison. At least 5 years. Possibly up to 99. We could give you a 99-year sentence for this crime. They didn't tell me that. It's a court date. I should teach that in school, man. And they should teach black kids, black men, at 14, teach them adult laws. Because if you're a black man, you have to be subject to these adult laws at 15. 14, 15. State of Texas, I've seen many 14-year-olds later get certified for something they did at 14. They get a stamp on their paper. Bam, you're a grown up. One young kid I could think of, first time I saw it, it blew my mind. A kid had got arrested for murder. He and another friend were in the car, and they believed that somebody was murdered from that car. And they arrested him. And he went to juvenile at 14. And he sat there for 2 years on his 16th birthday. I know his name. If you don't believe me, prosecutors or Barack Obama asked me about it. He was 14. They held him in juvenile till he turned 16 in 1997. His 16th birthday, they took him to court. Happy birthday. You're grown. Now you can begin to face your murder trial. Wow. Wow. Everybody says that women mature faster than men. But what they don't also say is that if you're a nigga, if you're poor, if you're not as educated as those who run society, if we can't relate to you, if we can't empathize with you, you're a nigga. If we can't feel you in your situation, you're a nigga. And if you're a nigga and you're poor, you get arrested at 14, mature faster or not, at 14, if you're black, you're grown. You're a black man, you're a grown-ass man. When it comes to facing dealing with white people, you're a grown-ass man because you can hurt us. You're big and scary. And this 14-year-old, he was big and scary, man. He was about 5'9", which ain't huge at all, but it's man size. And he looked like a baby in the face. He was a fucking baby. Of course he looked like a baby. And he had a young mind. He had a kid's mind. And that's what we're just calling for the purposes of this video, Babyface. And Babyface, you know, was involved in a murder. I don't know if the murder happened. I wasn't there, so I don't know if the murder happened from that car or not. But somebody got killed. They say that the shot came from that car. And it was like 3 dudes in that car. Did somebody get killed? Did the 14-year-old get killed? Did the 14-year-old commit a crime of murder by going willfully, hey, let's hop in this car and go kill somebody? Or did he happen to be in the wrong place at the wrong time and the car full of killers as they killed? I don't know, can't say. Well, I can say what he told me. I won't tell you because it was in confidence and I have the right to remain silent. Any secret that has been given to me can remain secret and should remain secret because it's just hearsay. So fuck you and your electric boogaloo. But young man, Babyface, 16th birthday, he comes to prison or jail, county jail, and He was a gangbanger. Grew up in the gangbang. Had been gangbanging in juvenile for the past 2 years. This was his first real, stab at man school. Raised by women in the projects. Didn't have no sense. Didn't have no real knowledge and wisdom they could give to this young man. He grew up, he 14. He learned to fight in juvenile, doing push-ups and that the whole time. So the time he hit his 16th birthday, he done packed on a nice little amount of weight of muscle, because they feed you like a hog in juvie. They feed you like a motherfucking peasant in jail. In prisons, most prisons, some prisons they feed you pretty decent, but most prisons they feed you like a fucking peasant. Come and get your grog and gruel. Bullshit. But in juvie they stuff you. They fatten you up for the slaughter. And he fattened him up, and he was doing push-ups and fighting and getting rough. By the time he get to the county, 16th birthday, he had nice little size on him. Had some tattoos on him he had picked up. Looked rough. Looked like a killer. Hanging around with killers. And they said he was a killer. He became more of a killer. And, I know enough people to know, and have good confidence that when he was 14, he was much smaller than he was. When he went into juvie, he was smaller. He was messing around with the gangbangers, but he wasn't what he was when he got to jail at the age of 16. And he gets there and he got the chip on his shoulder. Killer. Fuck you. And what you going through. He was a real cool youngster though, man. I cut it for the kid. He was a kid, man. No bullshit. He was a fucking kid, Some dudes is 18, 19 years old and they still kids. This dude 14, 15, 16. He was still a kid, but he was 14. He was a 14-year-old kid. Because once you go to jail, you usually get stuck. You learn some things, but you can't grow and develop if you're not participating in a productive society and have women around to keep you in check and keep you in line, keep you moving in the forward moving direction. Men need women to balance us out, man. Even out that testosterone. And in jail, there is no women. And the few women that are there are usually pigs. There's some few women working in jails and prisons and all that, but for the most part, most of them are pigs. And by pigs, I mean they're disgusting, filthy animals. They think like animals. They breed like animals. They don't have any, they're not humans. They're pigs. They want to roll around in the mud and have fun, laugh and giggle and fart and shit and try to be as comfortable and full as possible. Fucking pigs. That's what a lot of people are, but some people are more piggy than others. And so he gets to juvie. He's rough, tough, a youngster, man. Always try to hold his own. And of course, in society, we try to bring brothers back to the pack by laughing at them, clowning them, and all that. And the older brothers whooped him into shape. And I wasn't much older than him. I was probably 19 when I met him. And I was still learning. And it made it easier for him to learn certain things from me because I was so close to his age, I could relate to him. So, he hung around me. A lot of youngsters hung around me for that reason. We hang around each other to learn from each other, basically. You find some people that you like and respect and they know some shit that you don't know, but you would have wanted to know it. You usually hang out with them. And you learn from them, and you share what you have learned, and y'all become a pack. And this is what happens in jail, when I was part of his pack, Brothers of the same struggle. Protect ourselves from these crazy-ass Mexican gang members who want to have all these riots and shit. We're comrades because we both want to survive together, and we have a better chance of surviving if we hang together. So we were comrades in that sense. And also the sense we just related. We was, very similar character, personality. We've been raised by the same programming. And, I used to give him my legs because he was hard-headed. He was out of control. He was a silly little kid, man, in there with men. And he used to do silly stuff, want to come up and play with grown-ass men when they weren't feeling like playing in the way that he wanted to play. And remember, playing is just an attempt to learn something that you want to learn. Just think about anything like that. How do people play? They play in ways that they want to be when they want to be in the future. They practice in what they want to be. Little kids play running. They want to run fast. Little kids they play tag. They like to play the game get chase and give or whatever, chase and catch. Um, they like to have tea parties. They train themselves to be domesticated. They train themselves to be housewives. Um, they sit around, do imagination, and playing, training what they want to be, what they want to do, what they want to think, what they want to feel. And he want to play. A lot of his stuff was always play fighting. And most grown ass men ain't gonna play fight. They fight. And had to tell him, man. A lot of times he was that one of them youngsters that you had to always, snap into reality, man. You better get the fuck out my face, man. Sometimes you just gotta do that. He run up to you and he hit you, But he not hitting you to hurt you. He just do the little, come on, man, let's chest box or something. And you either chest box with him and tear his motherfucking chest up, cause he ain't gonna want to play after he gets a couple times. Whoever do that first usually quits. And that's a kid game. You don't want to play that as a grown man. And most dudes he up in there, he 25 and up. And I wasn't gonna chest box with him. I probably should have. Consider that he was a younger homie. We was real close to the same age, and I wasn't above chess boxing at that time. I liked playing. And I would play with him like I wanted to play with him. I wrestle with him and stuff like that. I didn't, chess boxing, you got to be close to a brother to chess box. Because you got to know that it's always got to stop when you say it stop, and, motherfucker ain't trying to aim for your chin on the cool. Me and him never made that kind of connection. Even though we could have. Our families was close enough. Our gang families was close enough at the time for me to do that with him. But, I wrestle with him, play ball with him, stuff like that. But like I said, I didn't do the boxing training with him. Even though I did do that with other brothers. Not in his exact same family, but in a close branch like his was close. But I digress often when I speak. I digress. One day he was playing with me. And I was on the phone. He was just in the playful mood. Little kid wake up wagging his tail. And I was on a collect call with my sister. And he came up to me playing while I was on the phone. And so I told him, man, you better quit playing with me, man. Can't you see I'm on the phone? That's probably what I said to him first. Can't you see I'm on the phone, man? Say Chi-Town, say something. And I had to check him. I looked him in the eye. And I said, man, I'm on the motherfucking phone, man. If you don't get your little ass from over here, man, I'm gonna fuck you up or something. And my sister heard me on the phone. And, that's how it is when you deal with nigga shit. A nigga up in your face fucking with you. And you tell him, nigga, stop fucking with me. Nigga, stop fucking with me before I fuck you up. You let a motherfucker know serious, point blank, man. I ain't playing with you no more. We done passed the point of playing. I will fuck you up. I will fuck you up right now if you don't leave me alone. You gotta do that sometimes, Right now I'm just doing the demonstration. It's funny. But when you're in serious mode like that, it's serious mode. So when he walked away, because I just stared at him till he left, you know, give him that get away from me look. And I stared at him and he walked away. And when I got back to my conversation, because I was completely distracted. When you're in the moment, you're in the moment. And that's all I was focusing on right then. Was, dude, you irritation, you disturbed my phone call. I got a 15-minute phone call with Chicago that cost like $15 fucking. And this was back in the 90s, man, you know. It wasn't that different, but still, $15 for a fucking phone call, $30. I don't know if it was 15 or 30. Yeah, I think it was 15 up there. Might have been 30. I know it was double up there what it was down in if I call San Antonio. So he walked away, and then my sister, you know, it was silent on her end the whole time that I was like facing this dude, like looking at him like, man, get the fuck out of my face, man. And I just stared at him. She was just quiet that whole time. And as soon as he walked away, I was like, hello? And she just started laughing like a motherfucker. She was like, I hear you, man. You tell the motherfucker how it is. I was like, well, shit. What do you expect? You think I'm gonna just let somebody fuck with me? That's it, huh? You know? My sister probably never seen me fight, I don't think. She might have seen me fight once. When my stepfather was there and was like, yeah, just let him fight one-on-one. But if my sister was there, she never let me fight. My sister always, you know, fuck somebody up for her baby. That's what the woman do. I will fuck you up for my baby. And they say it a lot quicker. You know, like they eyes and they everything and just turn to you and they'll say with their face, "And I will kill you if you don't leave my kid alone." They get that mode right there, killer mode. I'm going to fucking kill you right now if you don't stop messing with my child. But they get that look on their face. And you know, most of us don't get it until that split second before we do kill. So we never get it, you know, or we get it, like I say, right on the edge when we ready to, you know. And this is just protective of their baby boys, man, and their children, period. Fucking with a mother and her kids. Unless you jail. You can't do nothing about that. You can get your ass thrown in jail, huh? That's the law of the land, motherfucker. You gonna fight the power. Mama, I'm not finna shoot at no police or break you out of jail. I'm not finna pay tens of thousands of dollars to get you out. That's what a felony costs. A felony costs 10, 20, 30, 40. Man, it costs so much money to get out of jail, you won't believe it. Your bond will be something like, my last bond was $160,000 for a felony when I got arrested for a felony. No, I take that back. My last bond was cheap. It was like $10,000. Was it? Or was it $1,000? She paid like $500 to the bonds people to get me out. You know, and she had to pay like 5-6%. So I don't know. I'll ask her. You know. But this bond is expensive, man. And if you can't bond out, you just gotta sit in jail till they take you to court about a year or two later. They was gonna take me to court 3 months after. Well, it would have been 4 months. I would have been in jail 120 days. If I didn't bond out, I'd be in jail 120 days. Oh. By the time a motherfucker get to court, if they innocent or not, they gonna be like, whatever, dude, just let me out. Probation, whatever, dude, just let me out. These motherfuckers stuck me in a box. They drove me to a building and stuck me in a box that I couldn't break out of. And they just start feeding me. They was like, we gonna take care of you now. You can't be around regular people. You be around these other people like you. They stuck me in a box and slid me 3 meals a day. And gave me some drawers that somebody else had on last week. I don't want this. They want me to take a shower with a room full of men. Wow. This is not awesome. Take a fucking shower. So jail is, man. They don't tell you that. This is what jail is. You get arrested, they sit you in a room. A nasty, stinky, dirty room with a bunch of other men. Some of them nasty and stinky other men. Some of them crazy, some of them weird, some of them making noises, some of them annoying, some of them talking, some of them playing, some of them laughing, some of them doing whatever the fuck you could think of men can do when they get together. Everything. Just fucking talking, laughing, chattering, and making noise and fighting and stealing and crazy motherfucking shit, man. All day, every day, just men hanging out together, laughing and giggling life away. No women around, nothing to fight over, really. Except for stupid shit. Maybe the TV, maybe who gets to use this phone, maybe who, whatever. They fight over stupid shit, but fuck it. You know, it's just life, man. Um, so, anyway, they put you in the box. You usually want to get out. If you don't have bond, you sit in that box for a long time. You're probably going to sit in that box close to a day. Let's say that you in the middle. You sit in the place that got you sitting in the first box for 12 hours. Sometimes it could be much, much longer. But let's say that you got lucky. You in there 12 hours. Then they give you stuff. And they send you to this room. A little blanket with stuff in it. Send you to this room. Put the blanket down. Get butt naked. And give them everything you got on. Give them everything you got on. If you wasn't born with it, turn it in. Your whole suit, everything but your birthday suit. Take it all off. Then you take it all off. If you don't take it off, they'll take it off for you. They usually will. So after you get naked, they give you some clothes to wear. You know, they usually tell you to turn around and show them everything. Show me everything you got. Drop it like it's hot. Cough for me, cough for me. Make them guts hang out. Your guts hang out. They look like, ooh, there go his guts. And men, we're like, you know, we swanging and banging and dangling. So that's not good. Men ain't really supposed to be naked in public. Men should cover themselves up because it's just a horrible sight, man. Nobody wants to see that. You might think your stuff, if you're a man, you probably think your stuff looks good, but it's horrible. It's horrible. And it's necessary. You need us to make babies. So, you need us. But, you know, showers full of other men stripping. And a lot of times they do that. They'll send like 20 dudes back there, line them up against the wall, tell them all to strip off. And they'll send them up there to strip one at a time, turn their clothes in, get a uniform, go dress out. Turn in. And the officer just, as everybody gets, they come back out the clothing room, you know, he search them. Bam. Bam. And they just spilling out of there, spilling out of there. And you get your bedroll. And all this is going to take probably, if you by yourself, if you go in there when ain't nobody else getting processed in, you know, a real slow time. Say, for instance, a Tuesday, like 1 in the morning. There ain't that many people there. Maybe. It's been a lot of years and the population has doubled since then. But you go in there and get to the elevator, ride it up to the door. They got the card that you got to take with you everywhere. You give them the card, send you to your bunk. And now you're going into this cell with other dudes, and you're going to sit in that cell all day. You're going to watch TV for about maybe an hour, maybe none. But you're going to get to take a shower. They usually call y'all out a few at a time. Take a shower. You want a shower? And chow time. Is that how they do it? I think that might be how they do it in CK. You take a shower right before or after lunch. Probably right after, before or after lunch, probably. I might be during lunch, but you go to CK and you what did you do? Drink some freaking water. Okay, now you spent 3 days in this cell. Only come out for shower time and showers. And sometimes this, when they overpopulate it, they'll sometimes have 3 men in a 2-man cell, or even 4 men in a 2-man cell. And some of their 2-man cells are really skinny. They like 6 feet across, and they got 2 bunks right up against that side of the wall. And they have a dude sleeping right there up in that corner, and another dude they gotta sleep right in the door as he gets there. It's crazy, man. Sometimes they get so overcrowded, it's crazy, man. You sit up in there 3 days, then you usually go to a dorm. You get a chance to get a PR bond, and in San Antonio it's a PR bond. In Chicago it's an I bond, and you might get out just on your signature, promising that you'll come back to court because they just ain't got no room for you, or you're not that much of a threat, and you've been in there about a week. They get your I bond, um, San Antonio PR bond. You don't get that, you don't get bonded out. Bam, you go to your dorm. You've been in jail now about 4 days usually by the time you get to your dorm. And now you gotta settle in, you go to your cell. Usually this will be a 2-man cell, or you'll get thrown in a cell, a dude's gonna get released soon, and you just wait on him to get out so you can get a bunk. You're sleeping on the floor. You got a mattress laid out on the floor, man. Little roll-out mattresses they get you in there. And now you're in the dorm, and you just living in that box. That's in another box. That's in the building. And anything can happen in that box, man. Anything can happen. We guarantee you this. You're going to see some things you've never seen before. We guarantee you that. You go to jail, you're going to see some shit you ain't never seen before. You're going to be like, wow, that is some shit I've never seen before. That's why you don't get involved in the politics, man. You do your part, you do what you have to do, but don't get involved in no politics, man. I'm not voting on shit. I don't give a fuck. As long as nobody fucks with me or my closest homeboys, who gives a fuck? You know, and it is what it is, man. Yeah. Closest road dogs. And yeah, the dude got certified at 16. That dude was talking about before got certified at 16. And he ended up getting 65 years. He sat in the county till he sat in the county about a year. Then he went to trial. Jury came back guilty, 1st-degree murder, 65 years. Eligible for parole after about 32 and a half, 33 years. Could you imagine that? Could you imagine getting arrested and getting released when you turn about 50? He'll probably get out on about his 50th birthday. You in when you was 14 and you get out when you're 50. Hanging out with the wrong cat, somebody that smoked somebody. You get out when you're 50, when your life is at its middle. They call it middle age. This is about the middle, buddy. All downhill from here. Not really though. You can always grow and become better with age if you choose to. So, who's Babyface. Babyface got 65 years, man. He got out soon. I heard he gave a lot of that time back, as they say up in there. You know, you go in there, you spend so much time, and you do the study, you fight the law, you study the law, get a lawyer, lawyer fights for you, and you have so many mitigating circumstances in his situation. Well, you know, he was able to get out a lot sooner, but he got out as a convicted murderer. A convicted murderer. He murdered somebody. Wow. On the record forever. Might not have even killed him. I put it like this: if it was three dudes in the car and only one bullet hit him, you know, one person killed him. That's the way I see it. You know, but only God knows who that was, unless them boys tell it. You know, and even if they did tell it, the other two still gonna go to jail for murder in most situations. You still an accomplice. Or they'll say something like, we'll let one get away if one snitches, get the other two or three. That's why I was mostly a solo artist, man. I used to have homeboys ask me, man, take me with you on a lick. Solo artist. Because you could tell on me. Our story's going to be too hard to get straight. We could go to the place and we could sit there. I'll run off and do it real quick and come back and you will be looking at me like, what'd you just do? Like, nothing. Went and smoked a cigarette. Cops asked later what happened. Like, can't nobody tell them. Except for you. You tell on yourself if you want to. But that's if you want to. Yeah, that's enough of that. That fucking ashtray. Okay, well, I'm gonna clean the house now. Talk to y'all later. Toodaloo.